Let's see where we can mount. So I don't want this, it's kind of hard down here because there's a lot of action down here. So there's our fuel line. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it up like right in here. So it's not too close to my filter, which is over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put an orb, a nylon hose with the fitting to the filter right here. So I'm gonna screw this in place. Maybe I should bring it here, put it right there, so it's just more of a straight shot to the filter. And then I will bring my fuel line up on this side over here, but I got a little contraption that I made for it. So for right now, I'm just gonna mark my 2 holes up there to see, put this thing straight. Try to see if I can get it as uniformed as I can. Okay.
I can see it.
We'll go right here. Right there. Alright. Let's see if we can. So this is our threaded sleeve installer, and I know you guys saw me use this the other day. Let's see if I have the right one first. Oh, this is actually too thin. Let me threaded sleeve by 20. That's 20 turns per second. I have to open it up just a little bit more. We're gonna go ahead and touch that up again with some 415. I'll do the same to this guy. Oh, that's one. Now you don't want them to be too loose in there because you want them, because when they get compressed and smashed, you want this not to move. If they're loose, they're just going to keep spinning and it kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm doing. Oh yeah, we're going to have to sweep up. I feel as though guys in my back. Ouch. Don't do this at home, like me. It's still loosen. Come on, bud. Work with me. Oops. I pulled it up before anything. Let me go get another one. Let me do. That's because one side is on one end. Now see, I loosened it up. It comes off. All right. There it is.
Nice.
Boom. Now, go ahead. It's gonna be a little tough because these guys got clothes. Uh-oh. This is the hard part.
To squeeze that together, yeah.
That's one. Uh-oh. Come on, bud. You got it. Strong fingers unite. Bam. And that's our fuel pump right there. So now we're gonna get our fitting. We got our fuel line sitting right here. We're kind of gonna guesstimate the throw, so it's gonna come up this way. Since we don't have the upper control arms, I think I just go this side, come up this side, and then face over. So that's what I'm gonna do, or try to attempt to do next. But right now I'm gonna see if I can get, we have our power set up here, which we're gonna have to bring our power from our pump, which is in the back over there. So we'll splice into that. This looks actually really good. I like how it sits. It's out of the way.
It looks clean.
That's right, that's right. It's all set in there. Let me see if I can find some Teflon, and then we'll install this guy. I do not have the line maker to make the flare, but I at least want to get the line up here, or at least want to cut it to size. So I guess I'll set that up, and then I'll come back and flare it, and then finish off with our nylon line coming from here to our fuel filter. Once we do that, we should be finished. We may end up cutting some more and then coming over this way. So I think I got it far enough where I can actually, you know what, let me stretch out just a little bit more, and then I'll maneuver it up there right now. Actually, I should get the flaring on there, so I don't have nothing else to worry about, and I don't have to battle it while it's up there. So I think that's what I'll do. But unfortunately, my flaring kit is at the warehouse. We'll stop short. But for right now, just want to get this big bulk of 3/8 aluminum line out of the way. There we go. I would say we still have about 3-4 feet left of this good stuff, so we'll put this away for a rainy day. And what we're gonna use this guy, we should be able to have enough here to make it work. So this is again, I'm gonna leave it like this because I have to flare this end and put the fitting in first, flare the end, and get it ready for up there. So I'm not gonna flare this out right now because I don't have the flaring tool, but what I will do is install my fitting that goes up there. So I gotta find that first. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shape it with a little bit of heat, and then kind of get this guy on our fitting right around here. So he'll need to be cut like right there, I would say. And then we're gonna have to heat him up and see if we can get him put on the fitting, because it's gonna be a tight one. We'll figure it out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my handy dandy little pipe cutter here and just cut it now. hopefully I can just compensate a little bit right here. See if I was. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it off with a razor blade right there and see if I can fit it into the orb that's going to go up there. That's going to screw into our fuel pump. And I got to find one more fitting right here.
And what size?
And I don't remember the size. I know that I don't remember the end of this, but this is a 5/16 being converted into a 3/8. So these I picked up at Pertec. And this is what I'm going to use for right now, because I don't want to do a nylon fitting from the pump to our main fuel line. So I've been screwing around with a whole bunch of different fittings, because when we ordered our pump 6 years ago from Summit Racing, all the little fittings they sent us, which is, you would say, is almost impossible, but it is not, were wrong. So it kind of left me running around looking for something that I needed. So I found these fittings here, like I said, at Pertec, and one of them is going to tie to the end right here, and I got a little gasket slash rubber washer here, and that's going to go to the pump itself, like so. Now I'm just mocking this up here right now because I'm going to put a little bit of Teflon tape or Teflon paste on it. I'm just going to get it right there. So what it'll do, it'll come in from a 5/16 to a 3/8 line, and then we cut our 3/8 line, which I will flare this piece to it, and the inside right here, whoops, this little guy right here is a sleeve, as you see, and that sleeve goes inside him. And what that does, when you flare your line, it'll give it the lift it needs to stay up top so it touches your fitting. So it'll end up kind of looking like this. So, and then we're just gonna go ahead and put it up there like that. And there you go. So it'll end up looking like this, and then we'll run our aluminum line, flare it right in here, so it'll look amazing. I'm gonna see if I can find an orb that fits back here to go along with our 5/16 from our filter, which is right here. And then the only other thing that we'll need to do is bring our return line, which we'll plug in to here. We're just gonna let them sit right there. So right now we already got our fuel lines. We got a vent line right here to the top, and then we're gonna go ahead and figure out where we're gonna put him. Once we get that done, we give him some power and we're ready for gas. So I gotta get that flaring kit, and we just got a little bit more to go, and then we'll be set for gas. I get my fuel line here, so I'm gonna bend it, go up. It's a good thing it's aluminum because it's pretty soft, and it's very malleable, and you're not battling with it. And some people run that braided hose from front to back, and hose is cool and everything, but I think that sometimes it just gives way, and it'll burst open. Whereas a fuel line, the only thing that'll happen is rust, and it being aluminum, we know that's not going to happen. The reason we're using this aluminum 3/8 line was because it's what came with originally from our Summit kit with our fuel pump, which is rated for 75-80 psi, which is what we're going to need for this Coyote. That's why we're doing this, and I'd rather have a hard line completely running over to our pressure regulator than to have like rubber lines just everywhere. And so the same thing I'm going to do with our return line, even though we may end up losing it later when we change out into a fuel cell or something. We don't know yet. But for right now, we're just going to try and keep it as neat as possible and make it look good. So we're going to run our new return line from our regulator all the way to the back because we do need it. This is a return style gas tank. And once we do that, we should have our fuel system pretty much set up and ready to rock and roll. We can start to add fluid to the differential, to the gas, and then we're going to work on our transmission just so we could put the proper bushings. And of course, we forgot the flex plate that goes on there, or the what's it called?
Spacer, trans.
Yeah, the trans spacer. So we're gonna have to put that in. So that's a mess up on my part. So that's next. This is the fitting we're going to be using. It's like a reverse of the standard fuel line. You know, it's got the threads on the outside, but we're going to use this one because of our fitting down there. It's kind of reversed. So that's what we're going to do. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, why are you just going through all this trouble running fuel lines? Well, fuel lines and fuel hoses are two different things. Most fuel hoses can only do about 55, 60 psi, whereas a fuel line, you can go ahead and push it through as much as you can until it starts to rot. There are also different variances of pressure lines as far as your power steering. I've seen some of them go from 75 to about 120, and I've known some hydraulic lines do about 250, maybe 300 psi. We don't want to run hydraulic lines from front to back on this bad boy because, first of all, hydraulic line is really thick. Second of all, I don't want to have a burst in between there, and you know, braided is cool, but a little piece of braided looks better than braided from front to back. I'd rather have a hard line to make sure that if I want to change out this fuel pump and get something bigger, if I want to push 85, 95 psi, I can through this fuel line instead of having to change out a rubber line. That's why we're doing that's why we're doing the aluminum fuel line. So,
And also rust.
and not only that, we hate rust, and you guys know we're devastated at the moment with it. So, no more, no more. I'm done. Thanks for everybody on Facebook. If you guys are looking for a Foxbody from the 1,000 to the 10,000 range, please go on our Facebook page. Check it out. We post them every day. Quick disclaimer, these are not our cars. People send us these pictures and videos, and we just post it up, just trying to connect people that are out there looking for Fox bodies, and hopefully nothing gets all boogered up in the process of this sale. So if you're looking for that, go to our Facebook page at MCSC Green Wheels Facebook. Thanks to everybody on our Instagram. Thank you for all the likes. And especially thanks to everybody on our YouTube page. Guys, if you like the content, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe and give us a like. Good night. I'm going to bed.